Hi friends, welcome to my channel. So today in this session we are going to discuss about 10th class English grammar based on new pattern. So in this year this pattern was completely changed and new Romans also added. So in order to score the best marks in English, watch this video till end. At end of the session if you like this video then subscribe to my channel. So in English, there are totally 6 units, and in paper 1, there are totally 3 sections. Section A, Section B, and Section C. Section A it is totally related to reading comprehension, and which is related to textual. And in Section B, there is a grammar related to textual, and it has 20 marks. And in Section C, it is related to creative expressions. It has 15 marks. So in the section C, conversational description, diary entry or speech, and the new Roman called WH question. So if you see this blueprint in paper 1, section A reading comprehension it has 15 marks and comprehension from A reading, comprehension from B reading, and comprehension from B reading nothing but prose, and comprehension from C reading. And from section B grammar 16 to 32 questions. In this session, we are going to discuss only grammar and the new Roman called WH questions. So I will clarify all the doubts related to your grammar in this session. And this blueprint is related to paper 2. So now let me discuss or let me start our session. So 16th Roman editing passage which will be comes from ANSI. So it may have some spelling mistakes, articles, subject verb agreement, tenses, degrees of comparison, voices, direct and indirect speech. For example, let me take this example. Satya Nadella is born in 1967. What is the sense? What is the tense? This is whether it may be past or present. Yes, it is present tense. So actually, when we discuss about a person's birth, it should be in past, but here it is present. So the answer is Satya Nadella was born in 1967. So in this, he was an Indian boy. So I it is over letter, and before the over letter, what should come? And should be come. So after the completion of this graduation, he traveled from AP until Karnataka. Is it correct? No. Why? So he is traveling from AP to Karnataka. It is just he is moving. So we have to use to. In 1990, he left for America. He joined Microsoft but was appointed CEO. Is it correct? No. Why? So if you are adding any two sentences or joining any two sentences, the word should come and because it joins two sentences. So Satya Nadella he joined Microsoft and was appointed CEO. Okay. So these are the basic rules related to editing passage. So first one, after the word to, the immediate word should be V1. So for example, what to use it? Is it correct? No, because after the word to, that the word was in the V2 form, but actually the word should be in V1 form. So what to use? So after the modal verbs, what are modal verbs? Should, could, so etc. After the modal verb, the immediate verb should be in V1 form. He should punish that person, but should is nothing but modal verb. After the modal verb the V1 form should be added, so he should punish that person. So if that paragraph is in present tense, the main verb also should be in present tense, the helping verb also should be in present tense. For example, let me see one example after this slide. If paragraph is in past tense, main verb will be in V2 form. So was, were, had, etc. all the V2 forms. And it was the emperor's court. Emperor announced in court that someone has arrested. So if you see that, it was the emperor's court. What is the tense? Past tense. So emperor announced. Announce is a V1 form, but actually if the paragraph is in past tense, then the word should come in V2 form. So emperor announced in court that someone had arrested. Okay. And next, have, has, had, after, we should use V3 form. And Right form of words are very important. For example, if you see that it is a rare architecture, but actually the right form is a rare architecture. And some of the examples are given for editing passages. So if you see here, Delhi is the capital of India and it is situated in the bank of river Yamuna. It was by Haryana. So if you see here, the editing passage should be here. Delhi is the capital of India. It is situated on the bank of the river Yamuna. It is by Haryana. Okay, and next, it's snake charmer is a person. See here, it is in present tense. So here, who moves in the streets with different types of snakes in the basket goes from one place to other. Is it correct? No, because from one place to another. Here, the word was spelling mistake and to show various kinds of snake and their tricks. And relative clause nothing but combining sentences. So if you see here who, it refers to a person and it should be used before a person. And which, it refers to distribution, it refers to work done by a person. And third, it refers to the object. For example, combine the following sentence using who. Nick lives in Los Angeles. He was born in Australia. So who refers to a person? So we have to refer a person. Nick, who lives in Los Angeles, was born in Australia. He should be removed because we specified the nickname. So Nick, who lives in Los Angeles, was born in Australia. That's it. And next, he bought a new mobile. It was released recently. So he bought a new mobile which was released recently. So it refers to a distribution and it refers to the person's object. So we have to use which. I met a stranger, he was from the north. So we refer to a stranger, nothing but a person. So I met a stranger who was from the north. He was removed. And now let me discuss about participles. So in this participles, there are three types: present participle, perfect participle, and past participle. So let me discuss about these participles now. So present participles, they may be converted in being plus V3 or V1 plus ing plus V3. So in this video, I will tell you where we have to use being plus V3 and where we have to use V1 plus ing plus V3. And past participles was same, we have to use only V3 form. And in perfect participle, it may have having plus V3 or have been plus V3. So let me consider some of the examples. Okay. The potter caught the tiger, he tied it up with a chain. So the sentence is in the so caught. Caught have been changed into ing form. So catching the tiger, he will be changed into the potter. So the potter tied it up with a chain. So we have to use comma. And Victoria was a precocious girl. She understood the sneaky character of her parents. So if you see in the first sentence, there was no helping verb. So we have written catching. We have added the ing form. Whereas in the second sentence, there was a helping verb. So we have to use being. Being a precocious girl, she converts into Victoria. Victoria understood the sneaky character of her parents. He has done his homework. He went out to play. Has converts into having. Having done his homework, he went out to play. If there is any helping verb, we have to use have been. Okay. His boss recognized him. He got promotion letter. So recognized by his boss, he got promotion letter. So changing the sentence from direct to indirect speech. So when a sentence was given in the simple present, we have to convert into simple past. And if a sentence is in the present continuous, we have to change it to past continuous. And if a sentence is in present perfect, we have to change into past perfect. If a sentence is in present perfect continuous, we have to change into past perfect continuous. And if it is in simple past, we have to change into past perfect and past continuous to past perfect continuous. So there will, the words will also be changed if a sentence was converted from direct to indirect speech. So here changes into there, now into then, this into that, and today into this day, yesterday into previous day, tomorrow into following day, these into those, ago into before, thus into so, and last week into previous week. So if you see here, father, where are you going? Son, I'm going to market. So this is the new Roman. So father asked son where he was going, and son was replying. So we have to use son replied that he was going to market. So further, it was very hot outside. Sun, it's not hot. So it's just a sentence, but in the first sentence, there was in a question and answering form, we have to use asked and replied. Whereas in second form, it was in sentence form. So father told son that it was hot outside, and son said that it was not hot. And father, are you going to market? It is yes or no question. And son, no, I am going to movie. So father asked son if he was going to movie. Son replied in negative. So no is nothing but negative. If here S was present, we have to reply in positive manner. So son replied in positive. In this way, the sentence will get changes. And reported siege based on new patterns. Some examples. Try to solve these sentences. And we know that present simple into past simple, present continuous into past continuous, present perfect into past perfect, past simple into past perfect, and we will change this into old. And active and passive voice. So there are some my basic rules where converting from active voice to passive voice. So first, the subject will be changes into object, either object will changes into subject, and we should never change the sentence, and the verb should always be in V3 form in passive voice. If you see the structure of active voice and passive voice, subject plus V1 plus object, when it changes into passive voice, object plus helping verb plus V3 plus by plus subject. So in that, I changes into me, he changes into him, she changes into her, we changes into us, they changes into them. So examples. I love my parents. My parents are loved by me. So the I love my parents, it is a simple present tense. So or is nothing but present. So my parents are loved is nothing but V3 form. So my parents are loved by me. He writes a letter. A letter is written by him. So it is simple present tense. So we have to use is. If there are here he is nothing but singular. So we have used an is. If there are plural, we have to use or. So present continuous tense. Joshna is making a cake. A cake is being made by Joshna. So we have to use being and plus V3 when it is in present continuous tense. And present perfect tense. I have eaten a mango. A mango has been eaten by me. And if it is in simple past, he bought a car. A car was brought by me. Past continuous, Joshna was singing a song. A song was being sung by Joshna. So past perfect, simple future, and future perfect. Past perfect. Jaya had finished homework. Homework had been finished by Jaya. And simple future, Jyoti will accept the offer. The offer will be accepted by Jyoti. And future perfect, I will have changed the battery. The battery will have been changed by me. And 21 question to 32 question. And as since, because, when, in spite of, such that, although, these are all combining sentences, and either or it can be used for positive sentence, and either or it can be used for negative sentences. The combining sentences, if clauses, prepositions, each time, article, advice, request, and right expression. Let me discuss about them. And the roads were not good. He preferred less luggage. As the roads were not good, he preferred less luggage. And he wanted to stay at home. He wanted to apply for leave. Since he wanted to stay at home, he wanted to apply for leave. The boy was about to come down. Then it crumbled down. When the boy was about to come down, it crumbled down. So joining sentence using drinkers. And 23rd question is related to either or and either not. And Hari came to party, Ravi came to party. So here Hari and Ravi are different, and came to party and came to party was same. So we have to use either before the name. So either Hari or Ravi came to party. And Hari did not come to party. He did not come to movie. So Hari was same, and party and movie was different. So Hari did not come to neither party nor movie. So change two to so that. Robert found the world of Apu was very fascinating. He saw all three films in one sitting. So Robert found the world of Apu so fascinating that he saw all three films in one sitting. And Rakesh is too timid to talk to his headmaster. So if they given so that, so we have to replace to into so. So Rakesh was so timid that he cannot talk to his headmaster. Present tense means cannot and past tense means could not. So this tense was present tense, we have used in cannot. If the tense was in past tense, we should use could not. The box is so heavy that I cannot lift. The box is too heavy to lift. And if clauses, first conditional, second conditional, third conditional, zero conditional. So if you see type 1, if you ask me, I will help you. If you work hard, you will get 10 by 10. So the possibilities will be said in type 1. And type 2, if I had money, I would buy car. If you ask me, I would help you. If I were a bird, I could fly. If I were a PM, I would change the government. And type 3, if you had asked me, I would have helped you. So these are the might examples for these clauses. And some of the examples for this is open the door, you will get fresh air. If you open the door, you will get fresh air. I am not the PM, otherwise I will ban crackers. If I were the PM, I would ban crackers. He took off his gloves, so he got frostbitten. If he had not taken off his gloves, he would not have gotten frostbite. And these are some of the prepositions along with, together with, on account of, nothing but, because of, by means of, through the agency of, apart from, separate from, ahead of, earlier than more, in front of, located before, in place of, substitute, in spite of, difficult, due to, on account of, for sake of, for good of, in addition to, added to, in accordance with, in agreement. These are some of the meanings. And next slide was preposition. I finished my project ahead of deadline. Joshna goes to school along with Maitri. Joshna got job by means of her abilities. And 27 verb form, it is based on tenses and had plus V3. And articles, we know that a should be used before a single common noun beginning with consonants, and an should be used before the vowel word. And they, it denotes a particular person or thing once already mentioned. So the Godavari, Bible, the Arabian Sea, the earth, and the sun. Each time. So each time is nothing but each time plus simple past. So for example, if you see that you go to bed at 10 o'clock, now 10:30, how can you expect? So each time I went to bed. So you are talking about yourself. So you are talking about yourself. And each time you went to bed. So this sentence will come when your father or your mother will talks about you. And each time he or she went to bed. So when father talks about another person, so it is not including you. It is might than you. Okay. And advice or request is very easy, Roman. So when a sentence was said to convert into advice, we should use you should, and in the request form we should use could you please and end with question mark. So examples: your lunch, your friend does not wash his hands before taking lunch. Advise him to wash his hands. You should wash your hands before taking lunch. Student to teacher, allow me to come in. So it means it should be in request form. So could you please allow me to come in, ma'am? That's it. And suggestions, you have to brush your teeth daily. And advice, you should go to school daily. And request, please don't go to blood red. Obligation, you must attend to class tomorrow. Offer, shall I bring cup of coffee for you? And WH questions, it was a new Roman. So we have to see that W refers to what, which, when, why, who, whose, whom, where. So in W, what should be used when things in general, and which in selective things, and when it refers to the time, and why for the reason, and who for the person, and whose person in possessive case, and who person in object place, and where should be used in front of place. And H, it refers to how many, how long, how far, how old, how much, how frequently. So how means how, manner, how many number, how long duration, how far distance, how old age, how much quantity, how frequently. Sorry, frequent. So if you see the example, read the following. The frightened soldier fled. The king wrote a letter begging for peace. He left this letter in the tent. Then he jumped on his horse and followed his soldiers. When the potter's brown horse reached the deserted camp, it stopped. With shaking hands, the potter untitled his feet onto the ground. When he looked around, he found the camp empty. He looked in the king's tent and found the letter. The puzzled potter walked back to the city with the letter in his pocket. He went to his wife and gave her the letter. Now frame WH questions. Okay. So first, the frightened soldiers fled. So what the sentence should come as an answer. So what does frightened soldiers do? They fled out. So the frightened soldiers fled is the answer. And the king wrote a letter begging for peace. So why did king wrote letter? The king wrote letter for begging for peace. And he left this letter in the tent. Where did king left the letter? In the tent. And when he looked around, he found the camp empty. So when Potter looked around the camp, what did he found? When he looked around, he found that camp was empty. So the puzzled Potter walked back to city with a letter in his pocket. Where did Potter keep the letter? The Potter kept the letter in his pocket. In this way, we have to frame the WH question. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks.